Alright, Callum, you were the top 16 at YCS Bochum with Mermails, Atlanteans. Is there anything you want to say before we go to the list?
It was a similar list to the one I topped YCS Liverpool with. Top 32 at Liverpool, top 16 today.
Right.
And thank you to everyone that lent me cards, that's very important.
Okay, yeah, cool. That's your list.
So I played Gypsy Diva, 3 Nemesis, 2 Atlantean Heavy Infantry, 2 Marksmen, and 2 Dragoons.
Alright.
And that's all the Atlanteans. 3 Megalo, 3 Teus, and to search off Teus, a gun and a pike.
Right.
Also you need the 2 different levels for different synchro summons. Moonland Glacier, 3 Gamasiel.
Okay.
And then the only 2 monsters were some trap cards, Maxi.
Right.
As for spells, I played 1 for 1, which is another Neptibus of course. The equip spell for OTKing, the Gekai for OTKing, Dark Hole for OTKing. A very good card, unless you draw multiples. Actually, it's worth it even when you draw multiples. 2 Twin Twisters, and then draw cards.
Right, okay.
You can banish your materials with Plotted Desires, but you would want to search. Always try and resolve Neptibus first before using Desires. Obviously, sometimes you cannot, and you have to either hope that you don't banish them or just lose, which happens.
Right. 40 cards, right?
Yes. Upstart Goblin.
Yeah, indeed.
For the extra deck, comes off Synchros, played Tatsunoko, Crystron Quandax for the 1-for-1 combo when you go first. Army Arm for OTKing them. You summon Megalo, you give it the equip spell, you make an Army Arm, and it can attack 3 of the monsters. Shambara, because it can attack twice. Gold Dragon, because it destroys their cards. Gungnir, because it destroys their cards, allowing you to attack. Trishula, and Oleo. And then Exeus monsters I played. This one, number 101, Silent Honor Arc. Damage Arc. Totally awesome. The guy. Discuss. And an Odin.
Of course.
That's the main deck. Side deck.
Yes.
Decided the extra Dark Hole. Good against ABC and Paleozoics. Up to 80k. 2 systems down. 2 Chalice.
Okay.
3 Book of Eclipse, which is a consideration for metal foes and other decks that may be peculiar or make peculiar cards that I wouldn't easily be able to kill. However, I in the end decided not to decide it in against metal foes in this build. I wasn't sure what to decide against Paleozoics, and I went Trapstones. I thought people would be ready for Decree with MSTs and Cyclones, and you could also chain the Paleozoic cards, either the one that destroys the spell trap or the one that banishes a card to kill the Decree. But I know that I'm trying to OTK them, so I can just flip Trapstone and OTK them. The last 3 cards, an extra Twin Twisters, very good against Paleozoics, and then some cards for going first. So occasionally, sometimes against Paleozoics, I decided that I would need to go first. In which case, obviously Vantage's Emptiness is very good, and Spirit is better. I played the deck to go second as much as possible and to OTK. Obviously Emptiness isn't very good going second. But occasionally I would go first, so that's when came in the Aqua Spirit and the Emptiness. One thing you can do with Paleozoics, you trapstun them, you flip Emptiness, trapstun them, Emptiness stays off, and then Emptiness turns back on again next turn. A lot of people main deck Aqua Spirit, but I have not found it to be particularly useful in this build. I'm not playing the frogs, I'm not playing the OSHA combo with Teus, so Aqua Spirit isn't too useful. The 1 copy, it breaks a bit. It doesn't help you set up, and you don't need it often to OTK, so I found it to be not too important. If I was trying to do, when you do like setup combos where you need to drop Moonland Glacier, Tree Toads, it's much better. So it's a better going first card than an OTK card.
Okay, makes sense.
In terms of, I think it's important to say what I sided out in each matchup, because a deck list is never complete unless you know what they actually sided out. So for ABC, I sided in some combination of System Downs and Chalices and Dark Hole.
Yeah.
I would always side in these, and if I knew that they were going to make Dweller all the time instead of Buster Dragon, then I'd probably put in some Chalices as well.
Right.
And I took out 3 Gamessiel, because I expect them to tag out in the standby phase, so Gamessiel doesn't help kill the Buster. Sometimes Moulin Glacier is not needed too much going first. And at least one Atlantean Marksman, because a lot of the time they are not playing too much back row if they are playing ABC. And along the same route, I'd often set out a Twin Twisters.
Right.
And then some combination of definitely these, and these would go out, and these and possibly the X2 would go in. Against Paleozoics, I decided if I was going second against Paleozoics, I'd have the Twin Twisters, 1 or 2 Trapstones, and the Dark Hole. And I would take out a Heavy Infantry, because you cannot destroy the Paleozoic cards with monster effects. I would take out this scale sometimes, because I obviously do not play many spell cards. And then I would sometimes choose to take out an extra Maxi or the extra Moon Glacier, depending on whether I felt they would be more aggressive if they ran like 3 dupes. I would just work it out based on what I felt at the time, a lot of the time. If I'd done more preparation, I would have been able to give a more solid answer. Metal Foes, after a few practices, decided that actually the Eclipse isn't all that good, so I'm just setting in the Dark Hole. It's just the Dark Hole and the Aqua Spirit, just for extra damage, because there's a lot to take out. We need the Gamessiels to stay in for Kirin, and I may side out possibly Maxis, possibly Twin Twisters, but there's still uncertainty with regards to what I'm setting out against Metal Foes. I also played a lot of heroes, and Chalice was very handy. Obviously, Gamessiel was very handy. I have a lot of stuff against heroes, so that helped a lot. I think that's the first summary of my deck group.
Alright. Callum, any last words? Anything you want to say?
I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody that lent me cards, especially the expensive cards. Alex Newton and Adam Flint have lent me some very expensive cards. Everyone at Patriot Games Sheffield, Luke Parks for telling me to run 3 Desires. That helped a lot. So everyone at Sheffield, everyone at Chesterfield, everyone at Preston, Team Harlequins, they're great. And thank you very much.
Okay, Callum, thanks for the list, and congrats with your top 16 spot here at YCS Bochum. Thank you.
Thanks.